Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. 120 versus Anima, this game taking place here on Shattered Exile version 2.4. 120 spawning as the orange undead on the bottom right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Anima spawning as the pink human on the top left. Human versus undead, 1v1 matchup. One really well-known player and an up-and-comer. Always feels like that is the case here, unless we're in a tournament scene. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down. It will be an Archmage going up against a Dreadlord first. Alright, so Dreadlord first. I haven't seen this in some time. I know that some players had gone for Dreadlord first to be able to execute sleep surrounds early on that Archmage due to lag. I think the change and the transition into Dreadlord first now is to deal with the flying machine knight combination that so many human players are now gravitating towards. When your units, when your most powerful units have low hit points, well, Frost, Nova, Death Coil will certainly take them down. And what's the counter to that? Well, you counter it by going for Carry On Swarm to remove the flying machines and, well, let the destroyers do their job. At least that is the progression of the meta now. Alright, quick sleep onto that Kobold Taskmaster. Blight now placed down. The Acolyte even joining in on the fight. Should be summoning up a Ziggurat there as both sides getting started. What's going on here? Alright, that Dreadlord actually backing away a little bit too far. I'm quite surprised by that. The Dreadlord should have stayed closer to all of the action. Kobold Taskmaster is now out. Still has that command aura, giving a little bit of a bonus to everything as the Dreadlord gets to level 2. Meanwhile, Archmage gonna call over Militia, try and go after this Kobold Taskmaster as well. In comes the Water Elemental to try and intercept. Where is that Archmage gonna go? Purposely pulling back so far as the units are now trying to re-get into position and do a little bit of fighting back here. That Kobold Taskmaster joining in on the fight, finishing off, well, trying to finish off that Water Elemental as both sides may be able to set up an expo. Alright, if both sides are going for those expos, both sides should be playing relatively close to home, trying to find a way to get ahead, defend their expo, and defend that early investment. We can see that there is no lumber mill, no towers inside the base of human. Meanwhile, Undead, well, a couple of Ziggurats here, but no Nerubian towers as of yet. Archmage quickly gets up to level 3 and then backs away. Not too surprised, just wants to get that level 2 water elemental and then perhaps try and do some harassment. We are getting up an arcane tower, or excuse me, scout tower with a town hall already. Archmage perhaps going to try and test the waters. Does have that claws of attack plus H, very powerful. And well, with those level 2 water elementals, has a little beefiness there. Oh right, low hit point low hit point ghoul already on the move. One more shot may be able to do it with that claws of attack. And yeah, that claws of attack plus 8 making the difference there. Carry On Swarm, however, level 2 pushing back the sea of footmen. And now the Dreadlord has plenty of mana, should be able to get in quite a bit of damage as the water elementals are, well, splashing around, so to speak. Those water elementals do deal very good damage indeed. Is the Archmage going to be able to finish off that last unit? No, it is not. The water elemental is not going to be pushing back here, and what we're going to see is that those water elementals plus that claws of attack plus 8 on that Archmage are able to deal quite a significant amount of damage. One or two more shots going to be needed there. One more shot, I believe that ghoul going to get taken out, and that Archmage already has 3-4 ghoul kills, perhaps even more, considering I broke chase on another one earlier. Alright, Nerubian Tower is up. Acolytes trying to jump into that gold mine as we're looking at the Archmage, perhaps needing to back up here. Dreadlord is going to try and sleep here. Archmage, Scroll of Town Portal, tactical retreat needed. Low hit point ghoul, able to escape at 51 hit points. Well, good morning, or I guess good afternoon to Russia. Thank you for tuning in. However you may be watching, however you may be listening, always appreciate the support here. Archmage, summon up another water elemental, and it's one of those situations you do not want to be wasting time. WarCraft 3, a real-time strategy game, and the one resource that everyone has the same amount of is time. Kind of like an analogy on life. It's also what you choose to do with it that makes a big difference. Archmage is right there, purposely Cloak of Shadows, trying to stay hidden, footmen are going to try and engage, as we can see that the Dreadlord is looking for where that Archmage is. Random carry-on swarm hits the Archmage. Archmage forced to retreat back at 58 hit points. I was wondering if that was going to happen, and that would have been just a horrible, horrible chance if the Dreadlord was able to deal another 20 or 30 points of damage. All right, coming back around here, we see a surround on the Dreadlord here. Dreadlord should be able to break free from this, well, cardboard box. I won't say paper bag, as the footmen are a little bit beefy, but with that carry-on swarm, and should be able to, well, easily, well, find a low hit point unit or two. All right. Ritual Dagger used there on a skeletal minion, gonna heal up. Water Elemental pushing back through the other way, and, well, Water Elemental getting that little bit of splash damage in to try and get a little bit of a stop. Archmage, Scroll of Regeneration about to come to an end. Meanwhile, who came out on the top? That is the question. A lot of low hit point units. The tech to tier 2 is already underway, nearly completed on both sides, as we are going to be getting up Rifleman here in just a moment. Dreadlord comes across, gets a sleep onto the Archmage. Archmage does not have a get out of jail free card. Is he going to try and break free, perhaps Cloak of Shadows, as we're looking at ghouls getting taken down? Archmage going to be in trouble. It gets bursted down here as the Dreadlord, now down to 12 hit points, he gets taken down. But remember, the Dreadlord, well, didn't get any experience, or the Archmage didn't get the experience. Dreadlord comes back out and says, well, if you can resurrect at the tavern, so can I. All right, Dreadlord on the board with a bit more experience than the Archmage. However, the Archmage quickly trying to overcome that now. Is the Tome of Agility even going to be ignored? There's a Water Elemental splash as the Dreadlord comes in for the attack there. What is the item? Ring of Protection +4, going to double back around. Perhaps get some damage here as the Archmage is still exchanging blows. Archmage down to 103 hit points, trying to get away. Footman going to trying to get into position here, and there you have it. Skeletal Minion trying to engage in the back, and the Dreadlord gets surrounded. All right, so all of that work earlier, Dreadlord gets surrounded, Archmage gets up to level 4, and I take it back. Things are once more pretty even. Dreadlord getting resurrected again, low hit point footman. Is he going to try and like throw himself onto some of these other units? That is the question. That low hit point footman could get taken down by a ghoul. He's now trying to retreat back away. The Dreadlord trying to get in front, and the Dreadlord will get the attack again. Meanwhile, Archmage back at home. Scroll of Regenerations have pretty much been for himself mainly. One other footman and one other, no, not even that peasant along for the ride for that heal. All right. Mountain King wandering around here off to the north. We see the Mountain King Stormbolt is ready, locked, and loaded. Well, Rifleman also going to be coming out here. Quick Stormbolt onto the Renegade Wizard. Water Elemental going to be dropping in. Mountain King, well, picking up some quick items, picking up a Scroll of Town Portal, making sure that the Archmage, well, isn't forced into any uncomfortable situations again. Archmage going to stay at level 4. Mountain King going to stay at level 1 as the Archmage is taking some of that precious experience away. Meanwhile, we're having 120 with, well, gargoyles in the air. I do not see a slaughterhouse. Well, there it is. A slaughterhouse now getting added. Halls of the Dead already nearly at Black Citadel. Castle also the same way. Triple workshops for flying machines or perhaps siege engines, as both sides are going to be engaging. There goes a carry-on swarm. Damage can rack up really, really fast as a couple of low hit point ghouls are going to get taken out as well. Water elementals are in position trying to get in some damage. 44 supply compared to 47. Both sides with decent amounts of mana, as a little bit of damage sticking to that Dreadlord there. All right, Dreadlord healing back up. Death Knight, well, with level 1 Death Coil should be able to get a little bit of work done. Archmage ready to engage, fight back, as an Obsidian statue is here and ready to push the other direction. All right, Dreadlord does also have a potion of mana. So, well, if 120 is 120 is on a target, can easily take down this a lot of these footmen, as we're looking at, well, trying to go after some of these units. Gargoyles taking a little bit of damage. There's a gargoyle who went a little bit too far and will get taken out there. The water elemental piercing damage just going to be far too much, even with the heal. There's one carry-on swarm right there. Low hit point footman, well, still diving into that fight, as we're looking at the Dreadlord ready to use that potion of mana, perhaps to try and turn the tide. Low hit point gargoyle gets focused down again. Remember, these level 2 water elementals do deal large amounts of damage for piercing. There's a scroll of healing to counteract. And now the Dreadlord, well, is he going to use that potion of mana? That is the question. Death Knight trying to break free here. Dreadlord could have tried and do something. He levels up to level 2. Mountain King gets up to level 2. Stormbolt now onto the Dreadlord. Dreadlord could be in some serious trouble. Lich now out here on the battlefield with Frost Nova able to break free as the Dreadlord throws down another Carrion Swarm. All right, so many Carrion Swarm gargoyles with movement speed, with high movement speed, should be able to catch down Mountain King, however, causing a bit of problems. Are we going to perhaps see a sleep go down anywhere as we are now looking at, well, the Mountain King trying to back up? All right, there goes, I believe, a potion of healing transferred from the Archmage. Meanwhile, gargoyles trying to clean up the rest of the water elementals. Dreadlord getting a Stormbolt. Frost Nova getting down. Mountain King doesn't have enough mana to go after that Dreadlord. No, it does not. The Dreadlord with potion, boots of speed, able to dodge as the Death Knight comes out to give a death coil to that Dreadlord. All right, some crazy, crazy battles going back and forth now. Siege engines rolling out. So 6 siege engines roll into the Undead base. This is not going to be what I thought originally, flying machines and knights. Instead, siege engines. These siege engines do not have the anti-air attack as they're just going to be trying to roll into bases and take them down. All right. You can see Siege Engines 1-1 upgrades. We are getting that level 2 weapons upgrades. And with that fortified armor, greatly reduced damage by piercing and heroic attacks. Gargoyles. The main piercing there. Perhaps the gargoyles thought that there was going to be a large number of flying machines. There's a, well, Mountain King trying to retreat back there. Death Knight using Scroll of Town Portal to try and retreat and try and save this base. There's a easy blast against one of those Nerubian towers. One is going to get taken down. Another one's going to get taken down here. I believe this is enough to finish, even though there are 5 acolytes trying to repair. 79 supply over 82 compared to 69 over 50. This is a big problem, as 120 may not be able to rebuild any of his units for quite some time, as the siege engines now try to retreat back out. All right. 120 is now 69 over 40 supply, lost a large amount of gold, having to try and repair and hold on to those ziggurats. He's going to be forced to, well, spend gold in ways that he doesn't like, wait for them to be fully constructed, and then from there perhaps be able to train up new units. However, not many units were lost. 69 supply compared to 75. All right. Siege engines looking to retreat back. We are now getting level 2 weapon or armors upgrade as this new round of siege engines ready to roll on forward. All right, more militia being called down here, perhaps trying to clear this bottom left-hand side of the creep camp. There is a overlord there. There's a carry-on swarm attack. Archmage trying to put in pressure as the siege engines are just showing up, causing problems. Now, oddly enough, the ziggurats, because they do not have any armor type whatsoever, they only take full damage from the siege engines, meaning that, well, they would have actually taken more damage if the building was completed. Trying to get a couple of shots off. One more shot should do it right there. Yes, once that building was done, bonus damage indeed. Militia making its way on over. They should be joining in on the fight. Not quite sure why they were, well, not engaging here. Now back into their peasant form as we are looking at a potential expo coming down. Level 3. Nope. Archmage quickly gets up to level 5 there. We're going to see this last heretic get taken down. Mountain King sitting at level 3. Paladin may be able to get up to level 2 here if the Mountain King backs away. Oh, nope, didn't need the Mountain King to back away as the Archmage backed away in time. All right, Archmage, Staff of Sanctuary, ready to engage. Water Elementals, or these Enraged Elementals, getting cleaned up. 5-2-2 going up against a 5-3-2, but the Lich and Death Knight are both nearly at level 3, and that could be a potential problem. Meanwhile, these Scout Towers are trying to upgrade to Cannon Towers, and they're quickly going to get cleaned up there. One and not canceled in time, giving that Lich level 3. Death Knight. All right, what are we gonna take a look at here? Stormbolt onto the Dreadlord. Archmage does not have that Orb of Fire. Death Knight perhaps gonna try and engage here. Divine Shield onto the Paladin as he tries to back up. More siege engines rolling on up. Gonna be pushing inside this base here. How much damage can they really do as the bottom left expo has been cleared out? All right, that seems to be Anima's mission. Either clear out the base or destroy one. Are we going to see the Necropolis taken down in time? No, we are not. Carry on, Swarm. If that Necropolis was taken down a split sec or 2 seconds earlier, well, you can guarantee that this base would have been completely gone. Meanwhile, 85 over 88 supply. Forest Troll Warlord off to the north here, gonna get cleaned up. Archmage perhaps should be backing up. You don't want to take away some of that precious experience from those other heroes, especially when you are behind in hero level. Lich is at level 3 compared to the Paladin at level 2, and that is going to be a big deal indeed. Or what happened there? All right, I don't know. It looked like... All right, Gargoyle is going to get ready to engage here. No riflemen. Do the siege engines? No, siege engines do not have the anti-air attack, as the Death Knight now, or Paladin now needs to retreat back. Couple of siege engines going to get cleaned up. This worker here just standing around trying to build up a scout tower, even though the Undead army is right nearby. All right, Gargoyle is going to find more scout towers here. Archmage, Mountain King. Well, Mountain King going to find an easy ghoul, take him down. Robe of Magi giving plenty of mana. Coming back through. Siege engines ready to roll. 2-2 upgrades. Meanwhile, peasants, well, just wandering around here. A lone ghoul going to be coming into position. Stormbolt onto a Gargoyle, and you can see this level 3 water elemental really sniping. Oh, almost finishes off that Gargoyle there, down to 37 hit points. It's going to be able to get that final hit. Yes, it does. Death Knight's Death Coil a day late and $1 short, as we're looking at more picking off. All right, so many siege engines, and I still don't see the anti-air attack getting upgraded at all. The Gargoyles just being able to go after these siege engines pretty easily as well. Both sides still fighting their way through. Mountain King perhaps going to try and take down some of these other units as another siege engine gets taken down. All right, Dreadlord is halfway to level 6 already. Remember, siege engines still give decent experience, and, well, really feels like if the siege engines could turn around and force the Gargoyles out of play, it would at least, well, do a little bit of damage first. Here, 71 supply compared to 83. Anima is now up to 83 supply. Lich falls at level 3. Death Coil trying to find a ghoul, does find it there. Mountain King could be in trouble. Gets a Holy Light for the save as they're still retreating back. All right, the Paladin still sitting at level 2. Mountain King taking large amounts of damage. There's another Holy Light again as the siege engines, well, falling back once more. 71 supply compared to 79. Ghouls and Gargoyles going after these tanks here. There's a Staff of Sanctuary on one of those tanks trying to offer a bit of cover and safety. Are we going to see a Stormbolt go down on one? There's some Devour magic, and the Water Elemental, well, is just going to get eaten up pretty fast. Flying machines nowhere to be found. More expansions trying to get underway, but, well, 120 is just on top of it, preventing that from happening. We are looking at less than 2 minutes of mining left on the main bases and the expos. Undead a little bit longer there since he took longer to establish. All right, hold on. Did someone leave the... Give me a second. All right, back. Sorry, someone left the refrigerator open. I'll talk to them later.
A player's forces are under attack.
Gargoyle, Death Knight, Dreadlord. Ready to roll out, engage. Archmage, Mountain King, Paladin off to the south here. A couple of, well, large number of siege engines ready to go. And who is going to come out on the top? There's some Holy Light there. Paladin sitting at level 2. There's a Scroll of the Beast. That is a beastly amount of bonus damage now, plus 16. Used a bit too early, I might add, as the siege engines are nowhere near where they need to be. All right, the siege engine's going to roll on in here, perhaps go after the Black Citadel, and, well, the Black Citadel is not going to get taken down easily, as all of the units are now just tightly grouped together there. There's level 3 Carry-On Swarm. Big damage indeed. Acolytes coming over to repair, and the siege engine are just rolling on in, trying to take down all of these crypts. All right, one crypt going to, well, Black Citadel nearly taken out. The Acolytes trying to repair. It looks as though the Scroll of the Beast was not devoured up by that Destroyer. And with that, well, the Black Citadel now gone. All right, buildings completely getting pummeled and reduced to rubble here as the Dreadlord now gets up to level 6, able to summon down an Infernal. All right, more and more siege engines absolutely getting destroyed here. Level 3 Carrion Swarm, the exact counter needed to deal with this workshop strategy as we see a Stormbolt go down onto the Dreadlord. Dreadlord, however, supported by a level 3 Death Knight, not easily taken down, and well, a tactical retreat there. 90 supply compared to 76. Necropolis needs to be rebuilt. Well, being rebuilt here as siege engines were rolling off onto the north here. Not quite sure why that Necropolis needed to be rebuilt. Perhaps a beacon for Scroll of Town Portal, as this expo Haunted Goldmine could get taken down pretty quickly as well. So we're still looking at a lot of damage here. A couple of siege engines trying to blow it over. It doesn't look like the siege engines had enough juice, as we are looking at down to 50 hit points, and now, well, actually down to into the teens before the Acolytes were able to, well, maintain it. All right, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And, well, Anima using the strategy, if you cannot win with brute force, consider that you are not using enough brute force. And that's what this, well, army of tanks will be doing, trying to roll on in and destroy all of the bases, all the buildings. Shade is scouting everything out here. Couple of ghouls, couple of ghouls trying to finish things off. There's a Stormbolt onto a Gargoyle. That Gargoyle going to get taken down by that Water Elemental, most likely. One more shot. Well, Gargoyle down to 55 hit points. It looks like it will be able to survive. There's a Stormbolt onto another. Is the Archmage going to get the last shot? Yes, it will. There goes another ghoul there. Meanwhile, Infernal able to scout things out here. Siege engines absolutely destroyed in the center portion of the map here. Dreadlord finding them without their escort. And yes, level 3 Dreadlord with level 3 Carrion Swarm really able to deal large amounts of damage. Mountain King now trying to retreat back here. Paladin still sitting at level 2 after all this time. And the Archmage not backing up at that 12 o'clock expo clear for creeps, making a drastic difference, as level 2 Holy Light would be significantly better than level 1. All right, Death Knight trying to squeeze through here. More, well, healing getting underway. More splash damage getting added on, as we're looking at a couple of easy ghoul, or one ghoul trying to easily clear out some of these peasants as they're walking on by. Siege Engine trying to go after this Haunted Goldmine now. And it looks like it's going to get cleaned up as well. There goes that Haunted Goldmine. Carrion Swarm ripping through these siege engines again. And at some point, gold is going to become an issue. No more mining happening for anyone, as the siege engines now look to back away. Only one Staff of Sanctuary for the human army. Are they going to be able to save any additional unit? There goes a Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Mountain King gets up to level 4, gets staffed back home, as the Paladin does have Divine Shield, but it still has a 15-second cooldown, trying to retreat away, taking quite a bit of damage. That Frost Nova could have been the death of him, and it was, as it caused a bit too much slowing. Death Knight falls at level 4, Paladin falls at level 3 after the level up. Gonna take a little bit of time before it's back and ready to go. Look at all these siege engines here. Ready, well, waiting for peasants perhaps to try and get a bit of repairs going. They could move their way down. Mountain King still slowly getting resurrected. Archmage does not, there's not enough gold to resurrect that Paladin as of yet. So losing a level 3 Paladin, losing a level 2, losing a level 4 Death Knight, as we are still looking at a little bit of, well, unsummoning. Are we looking at unsummoning? Or where is the gold coming from for Undead? Undead is, well, getting a little bit of gold, clearing out this creep camp off to the top right. Mountain King ready for action here. Peasants, what are they doing? They should really be repairing. Siege Engine actually getting healed up by a Staff of Sanctuary, as we're looking to have the siege engines march their way down to the south once more. 50 supply compared to 55. Mountain King could have some troubles trying to retreat back. Water Elemental is right there. They're going to go in for a little bit of splash damage. Well, perhaps a ghoul will get taken down. No. poor exchange. 42 supply versus 45. Anima with the smaller army. 120 having a bit more supply. Shade keeping track of everything over here on the bottom left as the siege engines are ready to roll on out. All right. Militia coming across here. Are they going to find... Yes. One ghoul here. That ghoul quickly getting going to try to get cleaned up. Oh, a little bit of micro war going on. Archmage is going to find a Stormbolt. Yes, Stormbolt finish off that ghoul and then try and get a little bit more, experience. A little bit more gold here. All right, going after the Forest Troll, Berserker, Archmage, dual Water Elementals, able to easily clean that up. Siege Engines rolling into 120's base, ready to deal some damage, but the Infernals, or the Infernal Call Down, coupled with a Carrion Swarm, and you can see how quickly these Siege Engines can be lost. One down, another going to get taken out as well, with the third one perhaps slowly picked apart over time. We're looking at 49 supply compared to 51 now. This siege engine in the back still taking full damage from that infernal chaos damage. Well, not caring what type of armor you have, deals full damage to everything. All right, Stormbolt finds a ghoul, picks it off there. Nasty 1-2 punches. Paladin still not getting resurrected at all. Or I don't believe so. Nope, getting resurrected. So there was enough gold to get a bit of a resurrection there. Meanwhile, Archmage going to come across, perhaps finish off this Acolyte here and get a little bit more experience as well. All right, 1 or 2 more shots to take down that Acolyte. Mountain King, oh, actually uses a Stormbolt. Gargoyles are here. There's a Staff of Sanctuary for the save. We're going to see a level 5 Lich with an Ankh of Reincarnation. There goes the Siege Engine there, as we're still seeing more and more long-distance mining off of these, well, 2 expos that are currently are not really being touched. Get ready for engagement. There you are. There you go. Archmage going to have a little bit of problems. There was some Devour Magic. Archmage trying to retreat back down to 300 hit points. Stormbolt stops the Dreadlord, but is it going to be enough? Archmage trying to retreat all the way back. There's a Carrion Swarm, and that is going to be the game. Archmage falls at level 5, and with that, well, 120 is victorious. Anima unable to outlast his opponent and finish off those buildings just with siege engines. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Yeah, total score, hero score, just a very different story. Taking a look at the heroes, 754 compared to a 543. That Paladin really needed to be level 3 much earlier. Level 2 Holy Light, 100% better than level 1. And that Paladin seemed to be stuck at level 2 right until that very end.